I'll call the council meeting to caucus to order. We have 5 motions, 18 first readings, 3 first reading passage requests, 0 late filings, routine legislation found on pages 6 through 7 of the agenda, no second readings, no third readings. Do we do the pledge or do the motions first?
We're going to do the motions first.
Okay. We have some presenters. First one on M014 2026 and M015 2026. Donna Skota will present. Good evening. Donna Skota.
That one's working on trade.
Thank you.
Okay, third time's a charm. Good evening, Donna Skota, Summit County Executive's Office. I'm here on both M14 and M015 this evening. One is the supporting organization, and the other is the field of interest. The county executive sends her regrets. She could not be here this evening, but she did send me with a message. So I'm going to read a little of that to you, and I believe you actually have a copy. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to all of our potential supporting organization board members and field of interest advisory board members by answering a call to leadership at a pivotal time in our world. Your willingness to serve by offering your time, expertise, and heart reflects a deep belief in the power of community-driven solutions and in a shared responsibility to those who have been harmed for far too long. I also want to thank Summit County Council for your steadfast support of these efforts. Your partnership and commitment to responsible stewardship have been essential in turning accountability into action and ensuring that these resources are used in a truly serving way to our community. This work is more than a program of funding. Excuse me, it's a legacy. It represents Summit County's enduring commitment to confront the harms of the opioid epidemic honestly and build a healthier, safer future. Your service honors every life impacted by substance use disorder and the parents, the children, the friends, and the communities that have been forever changed by substance abuse disorder, and affirms that their expertise matter. Together, we have the opportunity to transform hard lessons from the past into enduring hope, healing, and the meaningful change for generations to come. On behalf of all 540, actually it's 542,899 residents of Summit County, especially those impacted by the opioid epidemic and those who have lost a loved one, we thank you. This is from the county executive. Now, I just have a few brief remarks just to remind you. Oh, thanks, honey.
Sorry for the computer.
That's okay. I'm used to it. The first would be the appointment of the Field of Interest Fund. And if you remember correctly, $5 million from the opioid lawsuit was given to Akron Community Foundation to set up what is known as a Field of Interest. That Field of Interest Fund has now been named. It is the Summit County Community Empowerment Fund. That fund has an advisory board, and this evening you are appointing those 7 people to the advisory board. And I believe their names are here for you. We have some of those members with us this evening that could attend, and they're here willing to serve. And I'd like to ask them to stand, please. Anybody on the field of interest? This board, this advisory board, will be helping Akron Community Foundation by advising them, giving them all kinds of ideas from the community, working with them, trying to make those grants most meaningful and to the neediest group of individuals. Individuals that for far too long have not had an opportunity to receive some of this funding. The next is a motion of council to confirm the appointments of individuals to the Supporting Organization Board. And as you remember, there was legislation that was passed for $45 million to be given to ACF to create a corpus endowment that would generate funding, and there would be a 501c3 that would manage that grant process. That corpus stays the same. The 501c is created as a supporting organization. There are 6 members appointed by the county executive. There are 7 members appointed by ACF. And that has to be because it's sitting at ACF, and that's the only way the IRS will let you do this, okay? They have to have the majority all the time, no matter what happens. So if there are any of our members here from the supporting organization, please stand. These individuals will be charged with organizing this 13-member board, creating the policies and procedures, and setting up a structure to become a 501c3 that will then be responsible for managing these dollars. And we have a really good group of people, and they're going to do really good things. And the beauty of this is we have these folks in place now. Once a gift agreement is done and the IRS designation is complete, we'll be able then to do that transfer of funds, let that build money, and then they'll be able to start that grant-making process. However, in the meantime, they have the ability to meet as a board and to set up those policies and procedures to be able to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So it's exciting. It's going to happen, and it's forever. And I don't think you can beat that with a stick. So I'm glad to take any questions. Yes, sir.
Donna, the Field of Interest Fund, that money has already been deposited,
Correct.
And it started at $5 million, correct?
Yep.
And do we know what it's grown to already?
5.8 as of Monday.
$5.8 million
Last Monday.
in that short period of time. That's outstanding.
So they'll be able to give that out.
Madam President, I just want to point out to everyone here that Field of Interest Fund was the baby
Yes.
of Brandon Ford.
Correct.
That was not even thought of until Brandon brought it up, and there it is. Thanks again, Brandon.
And he's worked closely to help me.
There were a lot of folks that were at the table before I sat down. I am just super appreciative of the path that they set in front of me and the advice that they provided to me in order for us to get to the place where we are right now. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for Summit County. And I'm looking forward to watching and supporting the great work that I know that this group is going to do.
Madam Chairman, if I could, having been on the ancillary sides of all of this, and typical Brandon, giving recognition to others, but it takes a leader, as we all know. And I have to tell you, in the short time that we've known Brandon, his leadership skills have shone brightly, and I'm thrilled because as one of the younger members on this body, he's going to be around a lot longer than some of the older ones on this body. But I'm thrilled with the way this has shaped up, and I know from the conversations that Brandon and I had as he was pulling this all together, his passion was always top of the conversation because he could see the good that this can do, and we're excited to see where that goes. And if I could, I've said it several times, I want to say it one more time because now it's a reality. The whole opioid lawsuit, I was in the room when people said to Eileen, "You're crazy." You can't take on these big pharma people. All you're going to do is feed the attorneys. And with no offense to attorneys, we didn't do that. We did something better than that. And her whole goal was to give this some perpetuity so that we didn't just spend it and it was gone. She wanted to create something that had a long and lasting impact for ladies and gentlemen in our community who they need that extra help in their lives. And looking out in this audience, as one of the older members of this dais, seeing all of you who've stepped up to serve on these committees, I am overwhelmed in what's going to happen with these two funds. And I want to thank all of you for your amazing leadership, not just on this, but what you've done for our community through several different organizations. I thank you for that, and I really appreciate the love and the support you continue to give this community. And if this sounds like sucking up, so what? Get over it. The point is, you all deserve accolades beyond anything that we can think of. So thank you so very much for both of these. And you, Donna, thank you for sticking around and giving us your leadership.
Oh,
We
you're welcome.
definitely appreciate that.
Thank you. But you know, just as a shameless plug, the Corpus can receive more money from the county. So if you ever feel generous, the Corpus can take money from
There
the
you go.
county, just so
You
you
know.
know. Thank you.
Now we'll have David Messner to speak on M17 2026 and M18 2026.
Just
Did we?
17.
Oh, just M17.
Hello, David Messner. I'm the new Deputy Director of Economic Development. It's nice to officially meet all of you. I know some of you from my past life. This is just a resolution to appoint me as a second alternative for Executive Shapiro to the NEFCO board. And this is because of Joe Eckenrode's ongoing commitments to seeing the Ohio building renovation through to fruition. So happy to answer any other questions.
I think you're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are 3 first reading passage requests, 2026-25. Joe Eckenrode will address council.
Good afternoon, Joe Eckenrode under the County Executive's Physical Plants Department. As we move through the Ohio Building Renovation Project, we have tested several areas and have found asbestos and positive in some locations. It's mostly the mastic on previous ceilings and old floor tile. Cardinal Environmental, as you know, is doing our lead stabilization. They were able to assist us with some immediate and emergency basis so that we can continue to stay ahead of the renovation work with this remediation. So we're going to request that we give this construction contract to Cardinal Environmental, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Yes.
Joe, is this additional for the areas that they had already found? Is this more areas?
Yeah, this is asbestos, where before the previous contract was for lead.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Joe? And then we have 2026. Liz, are you okay with this one? Yeah. 2026-26. Did you?
So this is phase one for the design portion of what the plans are for the Sallyport expansion and also the intake renovation and pre-intake area at the Summit County Jail. We put an RFP out to 5 local vendors. Welty Building Corp answered us with their qualification. Out of the 5, after reviewing, we decided to request that we give this professional service agreement to Welty, as we have worked with them in the past on this project that we at the Board of Elections here. And Again, I just wanted to say that this is for the design only. We'll be back for the construction portion, but based on a $4 million project budget, this is coming in at about 6.5%. And I'd be happy to answer any questions on this project.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
We will now pause for a moment. We have a photo request.
This is historical. We really should get pictures, just so you know.
In front of the sure. And council members, if you want to stand up. Does this thing move?
This is field of interest.
Just like a communications person. It's almost like we're professional. It's an all.
Right, we have one more first reading passage request. Phil Montgomery will address council on 2026-27.
Thank you, Madam President. Phil Montgomery from Executive Shapiro's Department of Finance and Budget. We have the appropriation legislation in front of council for this cycle. It's only 2 pages today. The first item on here is to appropriate funds in our property and casualty insurance fund. This is to cover a settlement that passed council in the last cycle. The next one is the appropriation of advances out. At the end of last year, at the last couple years, there are a few funds that need to be propped up for year end so they have a positive cash balance. We did that in December, and then we come back in January, February, take that money back and put it back into the general fund. So that's what the middle section is. We have a net zero appropriation adjustment for the sheriff on the end of that page. And then on page 2, we're appropriating $929,000 for these are proceeds from the sale of One Cascade Plaza. These were the net proceeds, and the agreement that was brought to council when that happened was the funds would then be divvied up amongst the taxing authorities that were had delinquent taxes on the property, and that was forgiven through the land bank. So these proceeds are pro rata being redistributed back to those taxing authorities through this effort. The middle section is an appropriation for the Emergency Management Agency, and the last one is an appropriation for the developmental disabilities, and this is that monthly munis. We had to close some encumbrances and reopen them. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Montgomery? Okay, John, are you okay with this? There are no late filings. There's routine legislation found on pages 6 through 7. There are no second readings. There are no third readings. Now we'll rise for the pledge, followed by a moment of silence. The pledge will be led by Councilman David Lacotte. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from January 26, 2026? Oh, sorry. Roll call.
Mr. Smith? Ms. Hyam?
Here.
Mr. Donofrio? Mr. Cajun? Ms. Dickinson?
Here.
Mr. Ford? Mr. Wilhite? Ms. Darrow?
Here.
Mr. Lacotte?
Here.
Ms. McKinney?
Here.
Ms. Walters?
Now, if anyone has a motion for the approval of the minutes from January 26, 2026?
So move.
Motion by Councilwoman Darrow. All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Motions for council. M14, 2026. A motion of council confirming the appointments of Vernon Sykes, Larry Moore, Tracy Buckner, Pastor Deontay Lavender, Terry Heckman, Toya Kelker, and Marquetta Body to the Field of Interest Fund Advisory Committee.
I have a motion to adopt M14, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Yes, somebody hit a motion. Did you? Motion by Councilman Ford. Thank you.
Thank you. M15, 2026, a motion of council confirming the appointments of David James, Chris Burnham, Robert B. Cooper, Bishop David Parker, Don Taylor, and Lori Pesci to the Summit Health and Safety Innovation Fund.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Wilhite. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
M16, 2026, a motion of council confirming the reappointments of Keith Malik and Ann Counterfroy to the Children's Services Board.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Hyam. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
M17, 2026, a motion of council confirming the appointment of David Messner as a second alternate for Executive Eileen Shapiro to the NEFCO Intergovernmental Review Committee.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Walters. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
M18, 2026, a motion of council confirming the reappointment of David Prentice to the Metro RTA Board of Trustees.
So move.
Motion by Councilman Schmidt. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
First readings, 2026-25. A resolution authorizing the executive, subject to approval by the Board of Control, to execute a construction contract with Cardinal Environmental Services Incorporated as a best practical source and an emergency pursuant to Section 177.07A3 of the Codified Ordinances of the County of Summit for asbestos abatement services for the Ohio Building Project located in the City of Akron in Council District 4 and in an amount not to exceed $284,640.50 for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services Physical Plants Emergency.
On the motion to suspend, all those in favor? Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-26, a resolution authorizing the executive, subject to approval by the Board of Control, to execute a design-build professional service contract with Welty Building Construction Limited Liability Company for the design phase of the jail pre-intake and Sallyport Addition project located in the city of Akron in Council District 4 for an estimated total cost not to exceed $263,700 for the executive's Department of Administrative Services Physical Plants Emergency.
I have a motion to suspend and adopt 2026-26. On the suspension, all in favor? Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-27, a resolution appropriating funds in order to meet projected expenditures for the balance of 2026 as set forth in Exhibit A for the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget Emergency.
I have a motion to suspend and adopt 2026-27. On the suspension, all in favor? Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
2026-28, a resolution approving the salary adjustments for certain classified non-bargaining employees based upon job performance, increased responsibilities in their job duties, and pay equity for the Sheriff Emergency. 2026-29, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a renewal, second of 3, of a professional service contract with Arcadius U.S. Incorporated for an engineering services task order for a 1-year term from January 1, 26 to December 31, 26, in an amount not to exceed $175,000 for the engineer emergency. 2026-30, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into agreements for the acquisition of standard highway easements over portions of partial number 1908969 and partial number 1910298 located in Coventry Township and Council District 8 in a total amount not to exceed $16,900 as part of the Portage Lakes Drive Culvert Replacement Project for the engineer emergency. 2026-31, a resolution approving the general plan for Project Q194 Chittenden Road and Boston Commons Sanitary Sewer Extension, determining that the project is necessary for the preservation and promotion of the public health and welfare, determining that special assessments shall be levied and collected to pay the costs for the project, and directing the executive through her Department of Sanitary Sewer Services to prepare or cause to be prepared detailed plans, specifications, and an estimate of costs for the project, together with a tentative assessment of the costs based on the estimate, located in the village of Town Heights in Council District 3 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services Emergency. 2026-32, a resolution approving and accepting a re-subdivision titled Hartridge Subdivision Phase 1R located in Sagamore Hills Township in Council District 1 for the Executive's Planning Commission and the Engineer Emergency. 2026-33, a resolution revising the assessments for the partials of Hartridge Subdivision Phase 1 located in Sagamore Hills Township and Council District 1 for drainage maintenance for the Engineer Emergency. 2026-34, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with Control Concepts of Ohio Limited Liability Company at GSA Co-op pricing for the Juvenile Court HVAC Controls Upgrade Project for the Juvenile Court Building located in the City of Akron in Council District 6 and in an amount not to exceed $251,660.86 for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services Physical Plants Emergency. 2026-35, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a mutual aid agreement with the City of Norton and other governmental entities within the County of Summit for the provision of services by the Sheriff's Major Crime Scene Investigative Unit for the Sheriff Emergency. 2026-36, a resolution authorizing the executive on behalf of the Sheriff to execute Special Weapons and Tactics SWAT Team Mutual Aid Agreement with the Summa Health Police Department and the City of Akron as authorized by Section 5502.41 of the Ohio Revised Code for the Executive and Sheriff Emergency 2026-37, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Wex Bank at Sourcewell pricing for fleet fuel card services and miscellaneous small vehicle expenses in an amount not to exceed $350,000 for the Sheriff Emergency 2026-38. A resolution authorizing the executive to sign intergovernmental agreements with the cities of Akron, Cuyahoga Falls, New Franklin, Stowe, Talmadge, and Twinsburg, as well as the village of Norton and Copley Township for direct indictment services to be provided by the prosecutor for a 2-year term from January 1, 26 through December 31, 26, with 4 one-year renewals at the amounts set forth below for the prosecutor emergency. 2026-39, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of Change Order Number 1 to a professional service contract with Isaac Wiles Burkholder and Teeter Limited Liability Company in an amount not to exceed $40,000 for a total amount not to exceed $90,000 for a cumulative increase of 80% towards the cost of continued legal representation and services on behalf of the county in the matter of City of Barberton versus Summit County, Ohio, and others for the executive and sheriff emergency. 2026-40, a resolution providing for the issuance and sale of an amount not to exceed $12,500 of notes of the Akron Summit County Public Library in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of constructing, adding to, renovating, remodeling, furnishing, equipping, and otherwise improving library buildings and facilities and acquiring, clearing, and improving the sites thereof for council emergency. 2026-41, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute any documents necessary to accept 2026 Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council NOPEC Energized Community Grants in the amount of $8,035 with no local cash match requirement for the executive emergency. 2026-42, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a contract renewal with Tyler Technologies as a best practical source for enterprise asset management for a 1-year term from March 1, 26 to February 28, 27 in an amount not to exceed $338,596 for the Office of Information Technology emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt the routine agenda found on pages 6 and 7.
Motion to suspend and adopt. All in favor? The routine legislation, sorry, found on pages 6 and 7. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And on the adoption, all in favor?
Thank you, Mark.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And before we adjourn, we have public comments from Apostolette.
Good evening. I stand this evening in the gap for every woman and child who is a victim of violence, has been a victim of violence, and is impacted by the victimization of violence. You haven't seen me because I have been literally fighting for my life. I stand before you this evening. That's a pain. Because I'm being denied housing, health care, employment, police protection, and justice in the court of law for reporting abuse and because of my faith. My faith does not teach me that I am a thing that a man got knocked out and woke up and found me and named me and defined me. My faith does not teach me that God is sitting somewhere on a throne watching me be abused so he could dress himself up as a man to come and possibly rescue me so he can get some glory. My faith doesn't teach that. I stand this evening because I find it a bit challenging as I was speaking to the prosecutor attorney before the meeting, that Cuyahoga County, Ohio calls the mess here in Summit County. The very protection order that they gave me, they violated. It's caused a whole disruption in the United States of America. I'm standing here this evening because I don't have a place to live again, because I got assaulted by a person who targeted me while I was homeless on a bus, and then when I moved into the house, performed sexual acts on me in his own way, and when I challenged that, he slammed me against walls and told me because I'm not a white woman, that's why he was doing that to me. I stand in the gap of every victim. As I told you, Mr. Campbell, Prosecutor Campbell, before the meeting, Marcy should not have had to die to get a law. My files, legislative body, are compromised in the clerk of courts. My files are compromised by a judge who actually recently, in 2023, filed paperwork in reference to me, and I never was notified of anything. I'm concerned because Cuyahoga County prosecutor, chief prosecutor, told me, I know you're being raped and abused. I know all about you. I'm busy, and walked off. I called his office for a meeting to see if he would help, and his secretary, who was been in place, told me, I don't have to talk to you, and hung the phone up. So I wonder, had something not been in place for me to have some place where I'm sleeping right now to be, where would I be? The color of my skin should not matter. My economic status should not matter. Madam Council President, Victim Services refuses to help me. I have a current police report. I'm challenged with this, and I'm challenged with this agenda because some of the people who you reappointed to some of these positions sneer at me, and they know me, who I am, because my parents paved the way for some of them to be in the positions that they're in. I need this legislative body because, Brian, as we have talked, you appreciate the fact that I'm bringing the concerns to you. I need this legislative body to hold these people accountable, not just for me. I've been being human and sexually trafficked and abused since I was a little girl. The system needs a new trajectory. I don't break laws and commit crimes. I don't hurt people with my words. I don't use drugs and alcohol. I don't prostitute my body. I do everything I can to show everybody the love and the appreciation that I have not only for the law, but I obey the law. But I need the law to come up some. When I leave this room today, I don't know what's going to happen with me. And I ask you to please take this into advisement and consideration, and the Akron Police Department has my current police report. Thank you for your time and your attention, and please see about victims. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.